So I'd like to share this prison story with you guys. The last prison story that I did, I had an opportunity to read some of the comments, and I realized that you guys really enjoyed that. So that's a lot of inspiration, man. That really inspires me to want to do more stories for you guys, and I truly hope that you'll enjoy them. Y'all are great fans, and I really appreciate all the love that y'all have, and all the positive comments that y'all made. I even saw a few negative comments, but that's okay too. That's all part of the process. I get it. One thing about it, everybody cannot be liked. So, if there are people out there that don't favor me, I'm okay with that. I get it. We're bypassing all that and we're moving on to the next prison story. I'd like to share a prison story with you guys that happened in the early 80s about a prison riot at Southampton Farm when I was 17 years old. Keep in mind, at 17 years old, I was buck wild. I was super stupid. So keep that in mind while you hear what I'm about to tell you. Because this shit is funny, some of it. So when I was 17 years old, I was tried and convicted as an adult. So I was sent to prison, adult prison. I was sent to Southampton Correctional Center, which is also called Southampton Farm, or we called it Gladiator School. I'm sure you guys get a general idea of what Gladiator School is. Really, really crazy, wild. Everybody in there was young, 25 or lower. So yeah, it was really wild. So at 17 years old, I found myself in one of the most dangerous prisons that I've ever been in my life. There were people there that had anywhere from 6 life sentences, and there were people there that had 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. It was a combination of all different types of people with all different types of time and thousands of different attitudes that you had to put up with every day or learn how to. There was a reason that it was Gladiator School. The fights were enormous all the time. There was probably 10 fights a day, at least. I'm 17 years old. I'm buck wild. I'm pretty stupid, but I'm also scared. Damn. I'm up here with real killers. I really tried to stay away from them guys. But again, after I got to know a few of them, some of them were pretty decent dudes, man. But it was just so crazy because they had everybody housed together. It didn't matter if you had 100 years or if you had 2 years. You were all together on the same compound. There was no separation factor. You might be sitting at the table eating dinner across from somebody and you got 5 years and they got 105 years. And would just as soon poke a fork in your neck as look at you. Pretty dangerous place. So yeah, I was scared. I was definitely scared. But I was also stupid. Really stupid. So, my stupidity outweighed my fear tremendously. I'm going to tell y'all something real quick about one of the dumbest things I did while I was there. I found out that this guy was getting packages of weed in. He was getting them in every other week. Well, back then I smoked weed. That was my thing. And I really didn't like this guy. He slept in another building, but we had bumped heads a couple times. So I decided that the next time that he got a package, I'll go take it from him. The next time that he scored, I went to him to buy some weed from him. And when he pulled out that sack of weed that he had, I snatched it right out of his hand and took off running across the yard. I ran all the way to my cell, slammed my cell door, and put my padlock on the door so nobody could open it. I had his weed. I sat in there and got high as gas. What could he do about it? Nothing. I'm sitting there smoking weed, blowing it right in his face. He's looking at me through the bars telling me he's going to kill me. I don't care. When I finally decide that I'm going to take my lock off the door, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to tend to this situation. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I don't care. I take my lock off the door at evening rec call right after dinner. And I go out on the big yard. It's, a great big ball field. And I get in a softball game. I mean, I'm just waiting on the guy to see what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm on third base, and the ball was hit to me. And, man, it's crazy the way this worked out, man. It was instant reaction, man. I don't even know how I managed to do this. But the ball was hit to me, and I played third base, and I got the ball. And as soon as I got the ball, I saw this dude like 2 or 3 feet away from me. And I took the ball and slung it at him and hit him right in the side of the head with it. Because I thought for sure he was coming to do something to me. I split his eye open when I hit him with the ball, and he dropped. And it was a weird situation. Anyway, the dude's laying there bleeding. His buddies are crowded all around him and stuff. And then I got 4 or 5 buddies that come running over there to me what's going on, Rabbit? They got my back too. The situation didn't escalate from there. They took the dude, his buddies took him to the medical department and got him stitched up. After he got stitched up, he come back out on the yard. He sent me a threat telling me that he was going to stab me. He was going to poke holes in my ass is exactly how he put it. Man, I went out on the yard every day looking to get holes poked in my ass. I didn't care. I done smoked all his weed. I mean, that was gone. What the hell? The threat was idle. It was an idle threat. Evidently, when I fired that softball at him and split his eye open, I took his heart. I scared the out of this guy. I had to have, because he didn't do nothing about me taking his weed. And I've got 100 witnesses that know I took his weed. He didn't do nothing about it. I'm kind of glad he didn't do nothing about it too. I didn't want to get stabbed. I mean, that's just one of them things you don't want to happen, That's just one of them crazy things that happen. So let me get back to the real story. All right, the real reason that I'm telling you about this. At Southampton Farm. I'd been there for like 2 years, I think. You were allowed to have personal items while you were there, such as you were allowed to have a radio, a TV, your personal clothes, your personal jeans, t-shirts. Things have changed drastically over the years, but back then you could have a lot of things that you can't have now. Well, one Friday evening, a memo was posted in every building letting us know that they were going to be confiscating our personal effects. That means they were going to take our TVs, they were going to take our radios, they were going to take all of our personal clothing. Everything that we had strived so hard to get, everything that we had struggled and fought for, they were going to take it. Rule changes, that's what they said. There's been rule changes. Y'all are no longer allowed to have this. Well, Southampton Farm at the time had about 800 to 1,000 people on it. And man, them guys weren't happy. You got guys there that have been locked up for 8, 10, 15 years and still had a lifetime to go. And you're not going to take nothing from them people, man. Are you freaking serious? Them guys ain't going to let you take nothing from them. Over the weekend, word got spread around the compound that being as they were going to try to take our personal effects, Monday morning, nobody was going to go to work. This is something that you need to know as well. As I said, things have changed drastically in the system. In the 80s and the early 90s, you were forced to go to work. You either went to work or you went to the hole for refusing to work. You had to work. Everybody had a job and you had to do your job. With that in mind, come Monday morning, everybody met out at the gate where the work area is, where everybody meets at and congregates in the morning while they wait to go to work. But nobody would go through the gate to go to work. The COs or guards or whatever you want to call them are like calling names out for people to come get on the bus to go to work. And we're just sitting there looking at them like they're stupid. Because we ain't going to work. We ain't going nowhere, man. I'm not gonna get on no bus and go to work, man, and have somebody stab me up because of it. So while this guy's up there at the gate, this guard up there calling names off the list for people to come to the gate and go to work, nobody is moving. He's like, what's going on, man? I called y'all to go, let's go, just get on work. You're going to the hole? Man, we're not going nowhere. We're not working today. We're refusing. The whole institution is refusing to go to work. Y'all want to take all of our property? We're not going to work no more. Now, work is what ran that particular institution at the time. They had a dairy farm. The cows had to be tended to. They had a beef farm, a slaughterhouse. Everything, all kinds of stuff depended on inmate workers or convict workers in order to make that institution run properly. So with nobody going to work, that institution is set up for a downfall. We stood out there for about an hour, I guess it was, and then things started getting a little shaky. People started getting nervous. People started talking a lot of trash to the guards. The guards started talking a lot of trash back to people. Things started getting a little bit out of hand. Next thing you know, fights started breaking out. And I mean big fights. 3 or 4 people jumped on a guard. Next thing you know, there's 10 guards in there with riot gear on. They're beating people with night club or billy sticks or whatever the hell they are. Man, and they're beating anybody. It didn't matter whether you did anything or not. They was hitting people. They were just hitting people. Anybody. And then there was a shitload more of them coming in through the gate on trucks. Trucks full of guards coming through the gate. Man, I didn't know what to do. So me and a few of the guys that I messed with there, that I dealt with on a regular basis, we took off across the yard with a bunch of other people that were taking off across the yard to find somewhere to get away from all these beatings that were going on. I got around the corner of the chow hall and all I saw was black smoke rolling. Somebody had set the commissary on fire, man. The whole commissary was burning up. When we get by our cell building, because we're trying to get back into our cell buildings before we get beat down, because these guys ain't playing. There's like probably 200 COs on the yard now, and all of them got these nightsticks and they're beating the hell out of people with them. If you're out there on the yard and you're refusing whatever to do whatever they want you to do, you're getting your ass whipped. So we're trying to get in our buildings. The doors are locked. We can't get in the buildings. When we finally do get in the buildings, the gates are locked. We can't get in ourselves. What do we do? So we all went in the bathroom and hid out in the bathroom for a little while. 5 of us, me and 4 of my buddies. We went and hid out in the bathroom for a little while and watched out the window. You could see out the window what was going on, and it was pure chaos out there, man. People were getting beat up everywhere, and the guards didn't care who you were. Yeah, I was scared. I was certainly fearing for my life because I didn't know what might happen. After we hid out in the bathroom for a little while and we seen the yard starting to clear out and the guards starting to dissipate a little bit, we eased on back out of the building because we couldn't get in ourselves. So we eased on back out of the building to find out what the chaos looked like, to see exactly what had happened. And man, I'm gonna tell you what. There was more piles of blood on the sidewalk than I've ever seen anywhere in my life, man. It looked like a straight slaughterhouse out there. And they were rioting, they were fighting the police. Man, there were just groups of people everywhere, just jumping on trying to beat the police up, and the police trying to beat them up. And me staying the hell away from it, trying not to get nowhere near it. Total chaos everywhere. Beatings everywhere. Everybody getting beat up. By far, one of the scariest and worst situations I've ever been in my life. When we get back out on the yard and we're going around looking at the chaos, trying to hide, ducking around corners, trying not to let the police see us so we don't get beat up too. Everywhere you look is fighting. People battling everywhere. Man, yeah, people getting beat up everywhere. Slowly, things die down. It comes to a small, slow halt. As it does, all the main doors to the building start popping open. All the cell houses start opening back up. And what they're doing now is they're forcing everybody back to their cells. You either go back to your cell or you get beat up. That's it. That's, bottom of the line. Now, this is your option. You either go back in your cell immediately or you get the beat out or you win a nightclub. I didn't have to be forced back in my cell. I was ready to go. We went back in our cells. Now I'm in my cell. We're all locked down. The whole compound is locked down. The turmoil is tremendous, man. It's just crazy. Oh, God. It's too difficult to describe the carnage. It was that bad. Everybody's locked in their cells. So they have an emergency count. And right after the emergency count clears, they have 2 guards coming around going to every door, each door in every cell building, going to every gate and asking people, are you going to go back to work? Man, I'm going to tell you what. I was at a point right then where I couldn't wait to go to work. But I'm also in fear for my life. When they asked me if I was going to go back to work, my response was, yes, sir. I'm going to go back to work just as soon as everybody else does. Because I'm not going to step out that gate and go to work and come back in and get loaded up with holes. I'm not going to get killed, man, because I go to work. As soon as everybody else goes back to work, I'm going to. I'm not refusing to work. I'm just waiting on everybody else. We stayed locked in our cells for 2 straight weeks. I guess while they tried to figure out what was going to happen. I don't know what happened to all the people that got beat up. I don't know what happened to the people that beat the police up, because that happened too. I don't know what happened to any of it, other than the simple fact that it was a riot. And I was caught up in the middle of it, and I was pretty damn scared. And I didn't know what to do. Certain times, when we find ourselves in situations where you just don't know what to do. And that was one of those times. Once we came off a lock, after being locked down for 2 weeks in our cells, once we came off a lock on a Saturday morning. Once we came off a lock, everything just automatically, like nothing had happened, went right back to normal. But they never took anything away from us. They never took our electronics. They never took our clothes. They never took anything we had. My thinking on that is that if people wouldn't have stood up for what they believed in and what they felt like was right at the time, they would have just ran over top of everybody and just took everything everybody had, and that would have been the end of it. But people actually stood up and fought and bled. And some of them got hurt pretty bad. But what they believed in, were able to keep all of their property, all of their possessions, everything that they had accumulated over the years of being incarcerated. Rather than just let them come in and take it all, they were able to keep it. So I believe that there is justice of some sort in standing up for what you truly believe in. And I'm so glad that I was able to survive that situation, to get out of there alive and be able to share this story with you guys and let you know what it's really like on the inside. Sometimes the violence is above and beyond your total imagination. And with that, I want to thank all you guys out there for letting me share this story with you. I truly hope you enjoy it. And until next time, y'all guys have a great day. And please keep your heads up and keep pushing forward. APS for life. Peace.